greatest time-saving inventions. Most dishwasher detergents contain chlorine, and it reacts with the food particles stuck to these dishes. The very high heat in the dishwasher speeds up the rate at which the chemicals are formed and released into the air. Our family thinks they're safe because their everyday products have been approved for consumer use. But cumulative exposure to these substances is only now being explored.
Many of the chemicals that we're concerned about in homes and offices and schools are exactly the same. They are the same chemicals that we regulate in heavily industrialized environments. They just exist in homes and schools and offices at much lower levels. We don't really understand the impacts of low-level exposures in our everyday lives like we do understand the potential impacts of high-level exposures, for example, in an industrial workspace. So we regulate those industrial workspaces because we know that the chemicals do cause short-term or even long-term health impacts at the levels that they exist in those workplaces.
Oh, not again. Ew.
Not all the pesticides in our homes enter accidentally. We use many different products to get rid of insects and other pests. They're lethal. After all, it's their job. Over 30% of Canadian households use what are generically known as pesticides to control bugs on plants and other pests. Indoor concentrations can easily exceed outdoor levels.
Good boy, Bud. There you go. There you go, sweetie.
Bud's flea powder comes from the same family of chemicals as nerve gas. Fleas and ticks eventually succumb to its military might.
Good boy. Oh!
Pesticides are always on the move in our homes. Products like flea powders, mosquito repellent, and termite killers might only be used once in a blue moon.
Down, Bud.
But they can account for 80% of our exposure to pesticides.
Happy anniversary!
Oh!
Look what I made at school for you.
Oh, that's beautiful, honey. Thank you.
You thought I'd forgotten, didn't you?
Well, I was wondering.
Hey. Hey, Sam.
There you
Hey, I have to run downstairs for a second, okay?
Okay.
Go with them.
Come on, bud. Good boy.
Greg is sure that Tony will love this garage sale bargain, now that it's been stripped of its green and orange lead-based paint. Let's hope Sam and Ashley stayed clear while he was working on it. Basements are catch-alls for stuff that might be useful sometime. Households typically store over 60 hazardous products. Paint stripper, solvent, varnish, and the final stroke for a perfect finish. Each step emitting VOCs and fine particles of dust into the unventilated workshop. Radon may be seeping through the cracks in the basement wall. It's an odorless, naturally occurring radioactive gas that can build up to harmful levels. A labor of love, but perhaps not the diamonds Tony was hoping for. The lovely glow of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. A romantic fire can raise fine particle concentrations in dozens of homes throughout the neighborhood.
Okay, Tony, close your eyes. Don't peek.
I won't.
Don't peek.
I'm not.
Okay, look. Open them.
Oh, great. Oh, my gosh, it's beautiful.
Happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you, honey. Oh.
Recognize it?
Of course I
Put
do.
these handles on here.
Like most of us, Tony and Greg have no idea about the extent to which we live in a potentially hazardous chemical world.
To life, to love, to 15 more years.
How worried should we be about all these unexpected sources of indoor air pollution? For the most part, we don't know what kind of health risks they might pose. It's an area that clearly needs a lot more research. If you want to be on the safe side, there is some good news. There are many simple things you can do to reduce the buildup of dangerous amounts of chemicals and dust in your home.
Thought I'd forgotten, huh?
Remember what your mother told you. Take off your shoes when you come into the house, and you'll keep a lot of dust and dirt outside. To remove a lot of the existing dust in your carpets, vacuum thoroughly every few days for at least a month, particularly in high-traffic areas. Then a good weekly vacuum should do the trick. Products like solvents, cleaners, and pesticides need to be properly stored. At the very least, they should be well sealed. And ideally, they should be kept outside of the house so that vapors don't build up indoors.
Ashley, I'm sorry, but I'm sure we can fix it. Look,
Be mindful of what you bring into the house in the first place.
just watch.
Even innocent products like this super strong glue emit toxic VOCs. You can cut down the amount of chloroform gas you inhale simply by reducing the temperature of your shower water. Use a non-chlorinated detergent to wash your dishes. When you're cooking, turn on the fan. Activities like renovating, refinishing, and painting produce VOCs, but an open window and good ventilation will help to reduce the accumulation of many invisible yet potentially harmful chemicals. Thanks to a growing consciousness about the hazards of outdoor pollution, we are better equipped to make informed decisions about the actions we take. But we're only now realizing that we can't afford to be complacent about our private spaces either. Our homes can still be sanctuaries, but we need to be aware of the dangers lurking in unexpected places.